Hi again.
Hi.
Hi. All right, so I'm going to kick it off here for our Warner Brothers Global Generics now. So, what initially drew you to the project, and can you talk about what it was like working with a legend like Robert Zemeckis?
Well, what drew me to the project was to work with a legend like Bob Zemeckis, and that it's one of my favorite books of all time. So to be asked to play the grandma in a reimagining of the story, at first I thought I'm too young to play a grandma, and then I realized I'd been lying about my age, and I really kind of wasn't. And because women married young, so I was excited just at the prospect to get to play with Bob. He is an innovative director, and half of the visual effects that we see now in films are things that he dreamt up. So I was excited just to see what he would do with this film.
Great. So, like most grandmothers, the character you play, Grandma, is wise beyond her years, but Grandma knows more than most sometimes. So, what is she like? Did you pull any inspiration from your own grandmother or anyone around you in your life to play this character?
I drew from a lot of older women that I knew growing up, not just one person, but many people to create Grandma. I think the most important thing was her capacity to love, and that I drew, from my own mom, and the dancing I drew from my own mom. She was the weirdest dancer, and but the tough love and fighting the witches. I'm fortunate that I have a strong group of women that I am involved with. I have 5 siblings and lots of aunts and lots of teachers, people that whose character I feel is above reproach.
I love that. So you work closely with newcomer Jahzir Bruno. What can you tell us about him as a young actor and your relationship working with him on set?
Oh, Jahzir, just a sweet, quiet, fun young man. He's a big brother, and he was a doting big brother to his baby sister. So he was a natural. I think they searched high and low for the perfect little boy to play the hero boy, and I think they did a great job. He's just a sweetheart. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, he definitely is great. You were great as well. You definitely have great chemistry on the screen. You definitely can see it. But the filmmaker shot a lot of this on practical sets. What was it like to work in the elaborate environments that they created?
Breathtaking. I mean, the set direction was beautiful. The production design, beautiful. As a matter of fact, when they go to the hotel, there's a bedspread that I just loved, and they made one for me as a duvet cover. I mean, everything was just beautifully done. They did an outstanding job.
I love that. So why do you think this story is so timeless and appeals to both kids and their parents or grandparents, perhaps?
I think it's so timely and timeless because Roald Dahl had this wonderful way of creating these worlds that were larger than life because we made them larger than life in our imagination. And the characters were larger than life and evocative of so many emotions that it made witches feel very real and very frightening. And at the same time, while you get this scare, you're extremely titillated by the fact that you're scared. And he was unique in being able to do that. And I think that's why those characters live with us, because you have that pathos, and the humor. And then you put it in this deliciously wicked world, and you have the witches.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, the characters are larger in life in this version. I absolutely enjoyed everyone's performance. So leading into that, can you talk about what it was like working with Anne and Stanley, perhaps, on set as well?
Stan and Anne, first of all, was just it was kind of schizophrenic because she walks out when the cameras roll. She was the Grand High Witch, And when they cut, she was really funny and warm Annie. So then you would go back to her being, you know, the Grand High Witch, and then cut, and she's just funny Annie. So it was that was such a treat. And then Stanley, I mean, I don't think I've ever laughed as much with anybody as much as we laughed on set together. It's just every time that we got to work together, we were all just laughing a lot.
I love that. That's great. Well, I want to thank you so much for answering these questions today. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll say go Tigers for you.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll take it.
All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye, Octavia.
Bye.